just thinking about this morning. You know, if I was Juve or I was Real Madrid, I was Barcelona or AC Milan, I was thinking, right, okay, we just lost out on the possibility of a European Super League because the English guys didn't fancy it because they're quite happy in their Premier League. We don't really like our domestic football because it doesn't really give us the same sort of value. We want a piece of their pie. Would it not be now sort of for them to look at this and go, do you know what? We need to come up with something ourselves and maybe join forces and get together without the English?
No, because they know that they can't do it without the Premier League clubs. They know the integral and fundamental part of it was the English clubs, and they know that their withdrawal, alongside perhaps the withdrawal of some Saudi money and JP Morgan losing their nerve, were the real reasons behind the issues that went on, and not necessarily just fan power coming down, which was part of it. But don't forget, we've been here before, Sam. We had the Chelsea-Arsenal Europa League final. We had the Liverpool-Tottenham Champions League final. But we still are lagging way behind when it comes to our domestic sides actually winning this trophy. Yeah. So when you look at the roll call of honour from this laughably named Champions League, because it isn't the Champions League, it was the European Cup when Liverpool won it in 1977 with Kevin Keegan and Graham
You can have that argument
Souness.
about anything, can't you?
Well, you can and you
Premier
can't.
League and then say, yeah, what about Sheffield United's performances this season? They haven't been Premier, have they?
But no, hang on. They're participating in the Premier League and they're a bona fide member of it. The Champions League isn't made up of champions, so it should actually be held up under the Trade Descriptions Act for being misrepresentative of what it actually is.
Most upon a time, teams have been champions, haven't they?
Well, it isn't, Sam. The only reason it's the Champions League is because UEFA wanted to rinse a big bag of money out of football. It's not the Champions League. It's a collection of teams that have finished second, third, and fourth in their various leagues, making up a tournament that brings in $4 billion a year. That's what it's about. But to go to your central theme, does it dictate to the others that were part of this European Super League, which wasn't wrong in thinking but was wrong in mechanism? The only thing wrong with that mechanism was it didn't have sporting merit at its centre. If it had sporting merit at its centre, how could anybody argue about it? Because at the centre of it was generating more revenue to be able to fund the game. What it wasn't doing was bringing everybody else with it. If it brought everybody else with it, then people could sit there and turn around and say and stop their moral outrage. But
they'll come up with something, though, won't they?
Say again?
They'll come up with something, though, won't they?
Yeah, and so they should. How else is football going to fund the billions of pounds per year that it loses? Because on one hand, you want these ghastly, revolting, nauseating, self-serving, crooked owners that are all in it for profit, whilst none of them are making a dime currently. On the other hand, you've got this ravenous beast of football that needs to be funded. On one hand, you've got these owners that nobody likes anymore, and the narrative is going to be peddled out by certain quarters. All owners now inside the game are disingenuous slobs, and all new ones coming in are crooks. Neither of those issues are true. The challenge is we've got a game that financially is in very difficult waters. And unless we're going to get control over the finances, which predominantly means the player wages, we're going to have this ever-decreasing circle of arguments about how ownership models should really work inside football. But I don't think your central theme that you're starting with, that the Madrids, the Barcelonas, who, by the way, are in the top 3 clubs of the richest in the world, are going to sit there scratching their heads saying, this is another example of why we should form a European Super League without the English.